Voilà, boy, we have a lot of
Activate leg, you stop boy. Yes, yes.
Machine be inferior, your phone you can use your.
So that's a different communication. It's a pledge. Exactly. Salaamaaleykum. Jàkka ji day soxla ndimbal chaque weer pour fay facture yi couvrir pilier yëpp. Affaire yi nag ñu ngi manqué sax tam. Léegi daal lu ñu doon ñaan yàlla rek mooy fooy yaa ngi nii ku nekk loo mën a pledge nga pledge ñu ko par weer nag xeebuñu dara quoi lu mu ndaw baax na lu mu mag gën a ci. Ji fooy yaa ngi nii quoi ma ñëw dëgg naa bu jox ñëpp fooy yi ku nekk remplir joxaat ma quoi loo mën a pledge rek ngir yàlla. Okay.
No, they rent it. And I'm going to introduce it for 5 years.
Okay. All right.
No, man, collect the cash with Assalamu alaikum. maa ngi leen di nuyu ku nekk si yéen sa tur ak sa sant maa ngi leen di wax aussi Ramadan Mubarak maa ngi leen di baal ak di baalu ak donc maa ngi commencé nuyoo bi si président Mamour Niang président ok parce que soo ñëwee si mbooloo nga ñëw si kër da ngay jiite ak le père avec le président ok donc chaque année comme lu Olam Ndiaye di wax defoon nañ ko daaw fekkee déwén dañuy baaxantal rek quoi lii chaque année ñu ngi koy def under the leadership of SASI bu nekk Senegalese Association of Staten Island donc soo leen xamee SASI événement yu muy def yëpp fii la koy defee si jàkk ji donc may rafetlu aussi liggéey bi nga xam ne imam Mouhamad Sakho mi ngi koy def non seulement pour def li nga xam ne obligation morale la ku nekk si ñun en tant que musulman loolu nga war a jiital parce que yàlla moo jiitu te yàlla mooy mujj ak lépp li ñu mën a def si àdduna waaye même suñuy ñaan dañuy ñaan si bismillahi rahmaani rahim suñuy jeexal dañuy jeexal si alhamdulilahi rabbil alamin donc yàlla moo jiitu yàlla moo mujj soo leen ñu mënee may tuuti rek ñu waxtaan s'il te plaît Ibou soo leen ñu mënee wax ñu waxtaan parce que président bi ngi nii taxaw li may wax nii yëpp président moo ko war a wax donc je parle right under the control of président Mamour Niang mais li ma bëgg rafetlu rek loo xam ne man lii il faut ma wax ko mooy ICFA ak jàkk bi nga xam ne ñun ñëpp fii nañu julle plus de léegi on peut dire plus de 15 ans lépp lu ñuy def El Hadj Ndiaye président El Hadj Ndiaye nekk na fi président mën na ko seede jox flambeau bi président Mamour Niang bi nga xam ne mi ngi def liggéey bu rafet right parce que baax na occasion yi une fois nañ koy am par année weeru koor bu nekk te weeru koor mu nekk weer bi nga xam ne lépp fii nañ ko war a waxtaanee ñi yaakaar ne amal nañ seen mbokk seen morom ak ñu baalante ak parce que àdduna yàggul parce que yàlla mi ñuy suturaal ñun ñëpp ba tey ñi ngi fekkee te fekkee rek nañu mën a ñaan am na ñu fi nekkoon daaw ren gisuñu leen am na ñu fi nekkoon daawaati géej ren gisuñu leen ñooñu aussi ñu ngi leen di bàyyi xel te ñu ngi leen di ñaanal donc li ma bëgg a wax mooy on est une famille il faut ñu wax ko ba noppi ñu jéem a góorgóorlu jël les actions yi nga xam ne moom la ñuy wax en français les actions qui s'imposent. ICFA dafa soxla Sénégalais yi fi nekk yëpp mais Sénégalais yi benn interlocuteur nañu am muy saasi parce que loolu mënuñu ko def table rase abu si benn nit la man lépp lu ma mën fii saasi laa war a jaar si ñoom ñu mën ma rappeler parce que saasi mooy sama passe mais jàkk ji ngeen di gis ni soxla na dimbal pendant 10 ans maa ngi nekk si île bi chaque jour pledge rafet na nag ñun ñi nga xam ne ñooy sénégalais yi ñu jéem a góorgóorlu bàyyi xel jàkk ji si ay bill si ay location si ay rent maa ngi toog léegi révérend Troya mi ngi nii toog ma jox ko fooyu pledge bii xoolal lii laa ko jox lenn la ma njëkk laaj est-ce que it's owned or it's rented right révérend loolu la ma njëkk laaj ma ne ko it's rented mu ne ma really est-ce que comprendre te really boobu mu wax man wóor na ma ne man waaye am na lu si xalaat pour kii toog bi invité wu ma kenn ren soo leen ma gisee invité wu ma kenn invité wu ma benn elected official benn nit laa invité muy révérend Troya bi toog bi kii mooy CEO wu projet hospitalité bi ngeen di gis lekk bu dugg si île bi si moom lay jaar housing problème képp ku am problème mu rent si île bi ñu war la fayal sa back rent si moom lay jaar shelter yi ngeen gis fii Saint-Marc Victory shelter yu bees yooyu yëpp moom la si loxoom la jaar donc elle est influente mu nekk nit ku simple boo xam ne soo ko gisee sax toog teg lu ñu mën donc indi naa ko tey pour mu mën a waxtaan ak yéen waxtaan ak jigéen ñi toog yi ñi nga xam ne am nañ green card am nañ passeport bëgg liggéey si city bi wala si state bi wala si fédéral bi moo tax ma indi ko fii mu nekk seen interlocuteur am na ñu jàng ñu pare am seen master amuñu liggéey you know ay retail business nañuy def ak yooyu donc soo la waxtaanee ak moom yàlla mën na si def sutura loolu mooy benn pàcc bi révérend Troya mi ngi nii naa ko jox mu wax 5 minutes waxtaan ak yéen ku bëgg am looy laaj problème boo am muy immigration lu mënta nekk man am naa si moom yaakaar parce que 24 ans Moustapha Dioum mi ngi nii toog mun na ko seede moom rek laay liggéey mooy co-chair start naa leen immigrant council man maay co-chair start naa leen immigrant council am na ay ressources yoo xam ne saa si président ngi nii toog ak ICFA mën nañ si dem parce que àdduna noonu lay doxee de est-ce que comprendre donc beneen affaire bi mooy président Mamour Niang laa bëgg jox micro bi comprendre nga parce que Pape Saliou wax na pledge yi neex na lool mais mooy make a promise keep the promise képp ku jël lii pledge yi ne weer bi su deewee dinaa joxe $100 na nga xam ne yaa ko promettre mais kenn du la si forcer te imam du la mës a forcer mais même su nekkee $50 la sax jéem leen ko jox imam parce que am na lu mu war a fay beneen bi ma war a jeexalee léegi mooy jox président Mamour Niang kaay président mu jël micro bi waxtaan ak ñoom après ñu jox révérend Troya président.
Asalaamaaleykum ma baaxul ko léegi. ku nekk ni la jox benn pledge card pour jàkka ji danañ koy gis nii bu kenn xeet lu waay am nga jël sa débit card def ci chaque mois mu jël ci $100 wala $50 wala $200 nga def ko ci jàkka ji ñuy dimbale pour bill jàkka ji bu fi nekkee suñu jàkka la waaw ñu koy dañ naan jàkkay sasi dañu yaakaar ne sa seeku moom jàkka yi ñëpp dafa nekk suñu doom yu bëri fi lañ leen tuddee te maara day taal yi ñu fi génn àdduna ñëpp fi lañ leen jullee fi la ñuy toog di dajale ba baa muy mat ngir yàlla lu waaye man la nga fil ab carte bii su ko defee bu weer dee loo mënti am bul xeet ñëw ci jàkka yi ñu koy bili ba keroog yàlla di may place bi moom la suñu bopp jàpp leen ci jàpp si lii jàppale yàlla la jàppale sa bopp la jàppale suñu njaboot su nekk nii tey jii suñu doom yi amuñu fenn fuñ dem fu dul fii loolu rek doy na ñi ci jàpp ñun ñëpp lu waay am na ci dem ngir yàlla asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatullah waaw association bi comme ni ko Abou waxee nii soxna ci toog fii dafa prêt pour jàppale ñi nga xam ne dañu am ay jafe-jafe bëgg ñu ay liggéey wala ñu am jafe-jafe ay këyit bu leen xeeb jëm leen jokkoo ak moom jël numéro ak office am ngeen dem foofu pour xool nu ñu leen di dimbalee waaw di ko xam kenn koo xam dafa ay jafe-jafe këyit surtout ñi nga xam dañoo jaar ci ay dugub bi ñoom ñëpp nañ ñëw essayer affaire bi moom laaju leen xaar laaju ñaan dafa ñëw pour dimbale leen agoon ngeen jaar ci agu ak moom ngeen xool lan lañ mën a dimbale bu dee liggéey la bu fekkee ne ay këyit bu leen bëgg ngeen liggéey su fekkee ne ngeen amul ay këyit bu ngeen jàpp ngeen may këyit waaw xam nga fii dëkk bi jafe na bu jafe xam ne pour gis fi lu lay defal kuy ñëw ci yow pour jël sàkk pour dimbale rek bëriwul de kon nag bu ngeen bàyyi mu échange leen quoi salaamaaleykum wa rahmatullah
vraiment président sa wax rafet na quoi so président sa wax rafet na donc léegi comme ni ma leen ko waxee am nañ benn invité boo xam ne fii mën na am lu mu wax loo xam ne mën naa si am njëriñ am na ñu fi toog peut-être soxlawuñu li nga xam ne mën na ko offrir mais am na ñu fi toog ñoo xam ne soxla nañ ko association nag noonu lay doxee président mënuñu la fay président Mamour Niass El Hadj Ndiaye mënuñu la fay président yi fi jaar yëpp mënuñu leen fay ñëpp ñu bokk si boodu saas yi mënuñu leen fay sama frère Moustapha Dioum ana Moustapha mënuñu la fay sa liggéey rafet na léegi leen nañu war a def xoolal tey rek xoolal mbooloo bi mooy annuel iftaaru saas yi xoolal ñaata sénégalais ñoo fi nekk xool leen donc li ñu war a def mooy ñu jéem a mobiliser waat sénégalais yi nekk si île bi dem seen kër fëgg leen xool lu tax ñëwuñu bokk si saas yi xam nga donc loolu benn nit mënuma tere ma wax li ma bëgg wax si loolu parce que c'est très important on a des membres yoo xam ne du ñu joxe seen cotisation Abdou Soñane mi ngi fii am na ñoo xam ne su amee dara grand yi rek ngay gis ñoom grand Abou Ndiaye ngay gis grand yi toog fii rek ngay gis les mêmes têtes ñëw naa fi daaw macha allah ñi ñoo ñëwoon ak tuuti peut-être à l'exception près mais ñaata sénégalais ñoo nekk si île bi soo leen ma ko laajee mën naa leen ko wax mais est-ce que ñi ngi ñëw di jàpp si saa si lu tax loolu ngeen war a laaj lu tax il est temps ngeen xalaat si loolu man su nekkee Abou si kese soxlawu ma nekk président saa si soxlawu ma bokk si dara mais li may def chaque weer naa ko def su neexee yàlla parce que loolu laay dox su ma neexee ma toog sama kër yàlla bu may suturaal alhamdulilah mais li nga xam ne moom laay def du Massamba du Mademba mooy tax du ma ko def mais nañu organiser encore bàyyi les émotions on est trop dans l'émotion mënuñu yóbbu fenn nañ waxante dëgg loo xam ne mooy tax saa si dox ñu dem si loolu indi nit ñi waxtaan ak nit ñi yàlla ñu yàlla defal jàmm donc président Reverend Troya léegi man ma jox leen et puis Abdou Soñane nee na ñu joxewul 2026 seen teg nañ joxe seen teg waaye 2026 man maa njëkk war a joxe mais man aw ma arrière sax au moins ak ñi amee arrière nañ jox xaalis bi Abdou Soñane ñu ngi leen di xaar
No, I'm good. No, that's okay. You good? Thanks. It hurts to get up.
You might get up.
Good evening, everybody. Ramadan Mubarak. I'm standing over here because my leg is not good. No, I'm good. I got 3 legs here. So my name is Terry Troya. I do a lot of things. I'm the CEO of Project Hospitality, the president of Project Hospitality, and we serve people in this community and all across Staten Island that struggle with finances. We have a help center just a few blocks away from here at 221 Port Richmond Avenue, which is open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and they can help people secure health insurance. They can review back rent situations in an apartment for a family. They can help people register for SNAP for folks that don't get Medicaid. We can register people for Medicaid, but we can also help you get something called New York City Cares, which is a program for folks that don't qualify for Medicaid. We can connect you to health and hospital services, and we can do a lot more. We help with worker compensation cases, or if you have a disability issue, we will help you fill out the forms. And in this time where much of the services for people that have financial struggles is being taken away by Washington, we can try to explain to you what the changes are and how you can be proactive so you don't get caught in the struggle. For example, there's new laws now that started March 1st that say if you receive SNAP, you know what, everybody knows what SNAP is, right? If you receive SNAP in your household, there are work requirements that people have to meet, even if you have children. So we can explain all that to you. We could bring somebody here who's a specialist at your convenience. You tell us what day, what time, that can go through and explain all the changes from Washington that will affect all of our lives. You can come visit us at the Help Center. I will definitely get to Abu by tomorrow. Our phone number, well, I can give it to him tonight, but just a pamphlet so that you can see what services we offer. And we do help try to connect people to apartments and make applications for apartments as well. So that's part of what we do. We also are very much involved in the community. We share the same community. In fact, right next door, the corner building, for many years, was called the Glenwood Aquarium. It was before you moved here. The Glenwood Aquarium was the only aquarium in Staten Island where you could buy fish. And it was run by my uncle. I spent a lot of time in that building next door as a little kid, feeding the fish and the turtles. Of course, now I have a 160-pound turtle. And I gave up my bedroom 15 years ago. He doesn't weigh as much as me, but he can still crunch your toes if he walks on your bare feet. Maybe that's another reason why I wear shoes. So I could take a few questions if there's anything that you would like to know that would be helpful to you. I also just want to mention that we are the sponsors of a charter school here in this community. And that school is called New World Prep. Has anybody heard of that school? Okay. That school is kindergarten to 8th grade, and it's free. It's a free school. And it has the best education of any public school in Staten Island. Our acceptance rate to colleges is very high. And so we invite you, if the mosque would like to take a tour, we could do a special tour on any day of the week that you tell us, morning, noon, or night. We can do a Saturday, we can do a Friday, we can do a Sunday, whatever works, so you can see the school. and you may be interested in registering your child there because they don't have to go to junior high. And junior high is a very big problem socially for students. So we invite you to our school and know that that exists. And we also have a center for jobs. So if you're looking for a job, we have a job center called El Centro at 64 Port Richmond Avenue. And you can get OSHA training. You could become a flagger, you know, the guys that do the flags. You can get certified in demolition, certified in construction, certified in maintenance work, certified in landscaping, certified in restaurant work. You can get, it's free education. And you get your OSHA cards. No, I didn't bring any flyers tonight, but he'll get them to you. I'll email them and then he'll get them out. So let me shut up now and just say.
No, it's good about the more resource.
Okay, so look, I don't need to tell you that things have changed, and I am not the expert on exactly what has changed. If you do not have a social security number, there's something called an ITIN number. Has anybody ever heard of an ITIN number, individual taxpayer? Okay. Are there people here that have files for an ITIN? An ITIN number. Okay, well we can help you file to get it. That's not a problem. But two things have changed this year that's very, very important. The most important thing is, if you file an ITIN number, ICE can get your information. Up until this year, there was a separation of powers between the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, which governs when you file your taxes with your social security number, or you can file your taxes with an ITIN number. And the code said that the IRS cannot share any information with the Department of Homeland Security. That changed this year, so that if you have an ITIN number, ICE can have access to your number, and with that number can know your address, who's in your family, the whole 9 yards. The other thing that changed with the ITIN number is that with the new regulations that just started, and this is very hard to wrap my head around, while you have an ITIN number, an employer cannot legally employ you, cannot legally pay you because you have an ITIN number. We have done this with people that have ITINs and don't have social security numbers because they don't have status.
Yeah.
And that was fine up until 2026. Now it's considered illegal. Are they going to pursue this? People are trying to change this and get it taken out. But right now, it is the law. So I don't know exactly what the answer is. I was at the Albanian Islamic Cultural Center last week for their iftar, and someone came up to me and said, I would have to let all my workers go. You know, and I don't want to do that. And I said, I understand that, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if they're really going to go after people or whether they're scaring people. I'm not sure. But I want you to know that technically it's now illegal to employ somebody with an ITIN number. And so these are the changes that we're fighting. New York State has filed action against the federal government. Our Attorney General, Letitia James, is working very hard. We are one of 17 states that's suing the federal government for changes like this that violate your privacy and threaten all of our families. And that's part of the work that we do, is not only to be able to help people, but to change the unjust structures that hurt people. One is to help, the other is to prevent people from being hurt. So that's some of the other kind of stuff we do. In the other thing that we offer is we have mental health services for kids as young as 10 and as old as me, which is pretty old, 68. And the other piece to that is we also offer addiction services for people that struggle with issues. I know, people don't drink here, but sometimes people drink. And if there's an issue with alcohol or with drugs, we have a center, we have confidential and free counseling. And
social media addiction.
okay. And then the other piece is, if a family becomes homeless or a single person becomes homeless, we're able to help people get to shelter. So no one should ever stay on the street. Not a family in a car, not a person in a doorway. No one should be living on the street. That is not the way to treat human beings. So that's another thing that we do. We go out 24 hours a day. We're looking for people. If somebody's sitting at the bus stop and the bus comes and they're still sitting there, they're not waiting for the bus. I also know that we have a significant number of refugees and asylees that still live here on Staten Island and are desperate for work. A lot of them stand outside the Home Depot on Tarji Street and also on Forest Avenue. And they come to us and they eat. We provide breakfast for people every day at 64 Port Richmond Avenue. And if there are people that you know that are looking for work, you can send them to us. And if we can help them connect with the job on the books or off the books, we will do our best to do that. So that's basically what we do, and I'm here to answer any questions, and I'll stay if you want to speak privately afterwards, and I'll come back as much as you would like. And I would hope to get the mosque more involved in the civic opportunities that happen here. Because, as you may know, about a year ago, there was a lot of immigrants that had newly arrived. And we had a church right down the street from here. Faith Methodist Church opened up for 10 West African young men who were Muslim. The church was wonderful. They just got honored last night. They were just honored publicly last night. When they opened that shelter for those young men, they were threatened by the community. People threatened to harm them physically for bringing West Africans in.
From Senegal.
What? 5 of them were from Senegal. I didn't realize that. So all of those men are stable now. But that church did a great thing. But if I knew that you all were here, we would have invited you over, because we needed people to stand with us. There were a lot of white people screaming, "Get them out," and we know that, at least I'm a Christian, we know from my faith tradition, which is pretty similar to your faith tradition, and I know we worship the same God, is that when you have a stranger, you take them in. That's the law of God. You a stranger, you take them in. They're like your brother or your sister. So we need people to stand with us when we take those kind of decisions. And our school, which is at 26 Sharp Avenue, it's only a half a mile from here. That's a school for new immigrant children. So I was raised in a non-English speaking household. I mean, I speak English great. But my first years, I never heard English. And down the pike, it may hurt you academically if you haven't gotten very good English language learning in your school. So our school has 2 hours of English language learning every day, 2 hours of math every day, and then an hour of science or an hour of history. It's a very good school. It's a free school, and it's kindergarten to 8th grade, and it caters to immigrants. It's here for immigrant families. So when you're ready to take the tour, let me know. I'll have the halal food cooking for you, and we will welcome you.
Thank you.
All right, any question? Any question? Feel free to raise your question, please. It's an opportunity. We have created this platform for information and resource, and access is key, and we all stand for what matters to each of us, meaning elevate, empower, and make sure that nobody is left behind. Any question?
Are New York City IDs safe nowadays?
I'm actually going to meet with the mayor on Monday, but it is my understanding that NYC ID is safe because the records have not been forced over to the federal government. And just because you have an NYC ID means nothing. I have an NYC ID and I'm born in this country. But could the federal government come in and take control of it at some point or demand that it be turned over? They could, but the state and the city would certainly fight them in court, and it would take a long time for that to happen. Yeah. It's a great question.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
I just wanted to ask this question. When it comes to this question, what are the steps we can take as a community to own our own land?
Thank you. Thank you. I love that.
Okay, so first question is, are you incorporated as a 501c3 corporation?
Yes.
Okay. So two things, and this actually came up. Abu and I were actually at a meeting with a representative from the mayor's office today. When you have decided what building you're gonna want to purchase, right, and you negotiate your price, you will be exempt from taxes because of your 501c3 status. Okay, so that's a considerable savings. And your corporation will own the building, right? It won't. If the corporation is Islamic Cultural Foundation of America Incorporated, they would be the ones owning the building. There's no advantage. There's no break or get a lower deal. But sometimes when people are selling property, they may want some kind of a charitable donation. Like if they knock the price down. So I'll just make this up, but say this was $250,000. I know it's worth a lot more than that, but just say. And the guy says, I'll give it to you for $225,000 if you can give me a $25,000 the donation. Like a letter that says, I discounted the price for you. So you can credit the person that's selling you the property a $25,000 donation. That's something you can do because you're a 501c3. So that's a little bit more of an advantage than just being a regular corporation buying a building. The thing that's really important is when you buy the building, you have to do a lot of due diligence to be sure there's no back taxes owed on this, to be sure that there's no liens on the property. So it's very important to have a really good lawyer who is skilled in real estate law and certainly can recommend some to you. But you have to, and you have to pay somebody. It's not just a lawyer. There's a person that goes back and looks at all of the tax records to be sure there's not a lien against the property. Either a lien because back taxes weren't paid, or a lien because somebody else had a claim to the property, or a lien because the line of the property goes 6 inches into the guy's property over there, or over there, or over there. You know what I'm saying? You have to be clear of all the liens, that there's nobody encumbering a claim to the property. That's very important. And so all of that costs money because you have to pay good attorneys to do that research. But again, once you buy the building, you're not subject to real estate tax. You are subject to real estate tax if you rent, even if you are a 501c3. So if your boss, if the landlord here is paying real estate tax, he can pass that on to you. Once you own your own building, you don't have to do that. Then, let me just say this, it gets a little complicated, but there are a lot of different categories of charitable organizations. There's 501c3, which is the top of the line. There's a 501c4, which is a charitable organization that can do lobbying, can speak out on an issue. If you're a 501c3, you can't endorse the mayor. You're a 501c4, you can endorse the mayor. That's the difference. A 501c2 is a property holding charitable organization. So you would want to ask the question to the right lawyer, do I purchase under my 501c3, or do I set up a separate corporation as a 501c2 for my property? Why would you do something like that? And I'll tell you why. If for some reason you had a federal program in here, I'll make this up, but maybe you had a preschool in here, right? And you were running a preschool program. there are some federal regulations that don't allow you to pay yourself rent. Okay? And so if you have two separate corporations, even if it's the same board, if it's separate on paper, then you can pay the other corporation rent. So for us, we own 100 Park Avenue at the corner, right across the street from the park, Veterans Park in Port Richmond. We have a 501c2 that owns the building. We are a 501c3 organization. The 501c2 has another name. But we get federal grant money. And the federal government doesn't allow you to pay yourself rent. So if you had a federal program in here, and you had a separate incorporation for the building, the money for the rent would go to the building, which is still you, and not to you, which is you. Does that make sense? It's like a... It's called a shadow corporation.
The right pocket pay the left pocket.
Exactly. All right, I hope that's
Any other question? Because I know prayer time. So I have two questions. First question, Reverend Roy, is from me. I don't have financial resource to help ICFA. I don't. I wish, I have. But I can spare my resource. I can spare my network. SASI, right, cannot involve in PAC, Political Action Committee. SASI, they cannot lobby. They cannot involve in politics. But ICFA, Imam Sakho has been running a school here for the past, what now? More than 15 years. He has a great achievement, accomplishment. My son come here. Most of these kids now, 16, 18, really the starting point was here. And I can witness that. I can even write a letter on that. If I can give myself the rope that will hang me, I will stand for that and I will write that letter to witness what I have seen. Because transparency matters to me. However, this social institution is struggling, trust me. Back rent, back utility bills, adds up, and it's only one man show right there. Even me, myself, I can make a promise, what? If I give $100 today, or whatever it is the amount, I can stay 6 months because I have my own struggle, right? I'm working poor. Now, what I want to know is, this is my pledge. It's not monetary pledge. This is Abu's pledge. How we can help this guy sitting right there. It's not him, Imam Sakho. Again, I'm sorry. It's ICFA. How we can help him. And this is my pledge to him and my pledge to you. Because this needs to remain open. We need to own this building. Or whatever building he wanted to purchase, we need to help him to get that ownership.
So let me ask a question. Have you met with our council member, Camilla Hanks? Have you met with her?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So the applications for discretionary funds closed out 2 weeks ago. But this is what I would prepare to do. Is I would prepare to ask our city council member for discretionary money. Now, I don't know if you're a religious 501c3 or a charitable 501c3. It has a religious standing? Okay. So, I'm almost positive that religious 501c3s can ask for discretionary money. But what you can't ask for is you can't ask for money to teach religious things, right? But maybe there's other stuff that goes on here that is not teaching religious instruction. So after school program you could get funded for, and a portion of that could be attributed to rent. You know, you could theoretically you could use some of that money for rent, and that could help offset some of your rental costs here. I don't want to ask how much rent this year.
No, we talk about it.
Okay. So that's what some of the.
We need the 1,200.
Huh?
2,200 plus.
2,200 plus utility, how much?
Utilities around
Estimated all overall.
4,000.
One shot bill, what?
$2,000.
$5,000? Yes. 4,000.
Listen, 2,200 is you can't get a studio apartment for 2,200. That's a great deal. The other thing you can do is, have you thought of renting this space for other programs at times that you don't use it?
Use it all the time.
Use it all the time? But that was an idea. Okay, I don't have a lot more ideas, but after school program could certainly be a reason to apply for money for the city council. I want to say, and Abu and I both met with the mayor's representative today, it is an awful process. And I'm working with a religious institution now. It's 3 years, they have not seen a dollar. They got a $75,000 allocation from city council 3 years ago. Not a dime. You have to have certain levels of insurance on your building. You have to, if you have people on payroll, they look at everything. The city looks at everything because you're spending city money with the discretionary grant. But I think an after-school program, a community program, those are the kind of things that they would fund. A feeding program. So those are just some of the ideas.
And also adding to the after-school program, Mouhamad won a what? Karate class, right?
Karate?
Yes, here.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
just
second one.
any program you have, any program that you have that receives public dollars has to be open to the community. But it's also a great way to build relationship with the community. To say, we are offering karate classes for free, I don't know, Monday and Thursday or whatever. Anybody want to come from the school? Anybody want to whatever? You know what I'm saying? And that shows that you are an asset to the community, that you're welcoming the community in, and that you're not discriminating against people that are not part of your mosque. And so there are people in government, in city government, that can help you with this application. I would certainly be willing to write. I would be willing to write the application for you. I'd be willing to write the application for you. But then if you get the money, you got to pay somebody to help you figure out how to draw the money down. The city is really awful about this.
And Reverend Troyer, I have the former president of SASI, Elagiai. He's a former president of SASI. He can witness. Our current president is here, is President Mouhamad sitting right there. Yep. Both of them, and anybody sitting here, they can tell you all our social event is being held over here. That is something also we can use on the top of my head to back it up, to back him up, to get, and we don't pay down. Right? All we do, as Brother Moore is doing, as you can see, collect from XYZ, whatever we have, peanuts, we share, some left peanut in our basket, and to spare it with Imam Sakho. This is how we pay the rent. I want you to witness it. Okay? Another thing I want to end, because it's dearly in my heart. I have all these three men sitting right there. They can back me up. I'm going to advocate for something that I have witnessed. I work on with the DA office, and so many confidentiality matters to me. I have to seal my mouth. But there is people in this community who work here as a cab driver, who work as whatever. Mountakha can tell you, because he has helped a lot of people to get a job, who pay social security, right? File their tax return on the annual basis, live in this country with dignity, no criminal background, clean, retire and reach the age of 63 and just want to leave the country, just want to give up. Right? So disability, SSD, I'm making this, you and I, because some of them left the country already. I know 3 cases. And they pay their due to this country. And they are not qualified for SSD. I think even being in Senegal,
They don't qualify for Social Security.
Social Security, they went to Social Security and put their application denied. Why? Because they don't have green card, which I know. But the problem is how much money. No, wait. There is no. No, I know that. We know. But we know you have to be citizen. I know that. It's crystal clear. But the problem is how long they've been paying tax. And there is some exemption. I know that. There is some exemption to some level. I wanted to advocate for those people. Even they back home. But we see how we can figure out with the president of SASI, President Mouhamad, will be the lead focal point on that, working with us so we can advocate for them here so they can start to get paid on the monthly basis back home in Senegal. That's one of my cri de cœur.
So, wow, okay. This is a very large issue, certainly not shared just here, of people, especially people that are here on what's called temporary protected status and other legal categories, but because you are not an American citizen, you cannot get your Social Security, and you can get your Social Security for your green card holder, is that correct? No? Only if you're an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay.
I have two residents of this island who went home because they're like 17 and old. So they tried. They've been paying since they got to this country. They were cab drivers. They left the country like a year, 2 years ago. They didn't receive a dime, nothing. They tried, nothing.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I witnessed a group of Malians. After the case in court, they won their case.
They won the case.
Yes. But now, with the new president, I don't know what's going on.
What we can do is we have an immigration attorney. She cannot represent you in court, but you can get an appointment with her to review your case and to ask if there's anything you can do to improve your status. We can provide that. We can also bring her here and she can do a question and answer session.
That's good.
If you want our immigration attorney to come, we can set up a meeting. That would be fine.
So we're gonna do this. A lot of issue has been raised, and a lot can be done. But everything needs to be done via the association, via SASI. President Mouhamad. So I'm gonna connect you with Reverend Troy. All right? Immigration attorney. We can have legal representation to fight that, what we talk, right? That's number one. Number two, we're gonna have some resource shared with SASI, but SASI has to organize it, okay? Right, Maud? We're gonna have a resource day organized by SASI, where Reverend Troy will invite, if we need immigration lawyer, if we need XYZ, Reverend Troy will provide us those resources, and we do it through SASI. And the other main important things that my sister raised, which is my concern, you m'as vraiment emboîté le pas, quoi. C'est ce que j'allais dire, how we can own ICFA. That's the 2 points I have on my agenda. That's why I invited her. And both questions has been answered, and the issue have been raised. Now, how we can implement it is to follow up. Now the follow-up part is not me. The follow-up part will be SASI and Reverend Troyer, so we can organize this in the most transparent way, where we're going to be accountable to the promise we have made. Sounds good to me?
Yes, thank you.
So again, yalla len yalla fay yeen ñep. Ma ngi balu ak encore une fois. Ñi nga xamne togn na len te xawmako, ñi nga xamne toñu ma len, yeen ñep ma len di balu ak. Yalla mi yalla may sutura aduna, may sutura alakhirah. Right? We got come. I like that. Come, ask a question.
Yeah.
Say.
Oh, sure.
Okay, beneen affaire bi mooy ku bëgg city job, bëgg state job, Mangani is hiring right now. All right? You better go and speak with Reverend Troy. Anybody who have a U.S., who has a green card, passport, make sure you go talk with Reverend Troy right now. It's an opportunity. You gotta jump in and go with her. Okay? Imam.
I get a job assistant, city job. What's your status? I think there's a lot of jobs. So how you get a city job? I don't know what you go next, but I don't know. The benefits are great.
I'm serious.
Church and then there's a cemetery.
No expectations.
Masila, what do you do? What are you doing? What? I see you have a computer over there. Say you do nothing. I'm coming.
No, mais lui, moi, c'est très important. Non, after. Let's do this first. No, you could.
America,
xaalis bu pare ba tëj ko am na argent bu this is the second time one xam na dama toog ñu ne ma somebody send ma MoneyGram aw ko ma ko di send MoneyGram sama loolu mën naa ne ba di 6 years I don't know, and this one is a new one because I was paying somebody send MoneyGram to my account. The MoneyGram bi nga ko daan man ci rek lay def via wala ma def wéy te léegi bañ commencé taxe tamit dañuy yónnee damaa war léegi yónnee léegi nee naa ko yóbboo man wéy bi ko jox baax na ci léegi day taxe de ba liggéey mais aussi am na beneen benn ndaw def nañ ma ko sama WhatsApp gis na mel ni ku la xam man dox bi rek man ma bi ko dox bi man pin boobu ma gisee sama damaa kaawum rek man récupéré ko ma pin boobu ma def ko récupéré sama kii xaw ma nag def naa jël sama mais ci saa si laa ko récupéré xam nga dañoo amee moment li noonu doon tënk ak tànn xam nga man dama dee xam they were practicing on the forum then it was a Friday. It was a Friday. You know what? We were here but secure. You know,